So all of that being said, we'll go ahead and get started as we always do at Yoga to the People, which is in a child's pose. So go ahead and settle your hips on your heels and allow your forehead to rest heavy on your mat. And if you have to choose between hips on heels or forehead on the mat, choose forehead on the mat. Your hips are heavier, so you can just let them fall towards your heels and maybe even use a bit of the strength of the backs of your legs to help draw them back and down. So that you're already starting to create a pushing and pulling sensation here. Because as we go through a series of poses, I want to be really clear that they're not just shapes that you make with your body. They're containers for experiences. So fill them with breath, fill them with intention, fill them with whatever of value shows up for you inside of them. It's a very individual journey, but we are all on it together. So we'll start with the breath all together. Please exhale your air out with an S8. And allow an inhale to rush in through your nose. Feel it coat the back of your throat and fill you up. And let it go, HA. Work hard when you're able. Take breaks if you need them. And again, make it the best experience you can for you. Gently start to rock your forehead side to side on the mat, massaging out the space between your eyebrows, maybe feeling your brain get heavier in your skull as you do. Now start to crawl your fingertips towards the front edge of your mat. And even more, inviting a pushing and pulling sensation here. So hips pull back and fingers crawl so far forward that your elbows and your wrists peel up off the mat. So you breathe into your armpits and the sides of your body like you're trying to yawn yourself open. And with your eyes closed, press your palms down, curl your toes under, send your hips high and heels low into your first downward facing dog. When you get there, move it around. And deeply bend one knee and then the other, dropping your hips side to side. Yeah, so you're taking a couple hops. Maybe you bend both knees at once a few times, broadening through your lower back. I usually notice that if I nod my head yes, I allow those muscles at the base of my skull to soften a bit more. And then slowly clean up your downward dog. So hips high and heels low. Okay, you might flutter your eyes open to look at your feet. Make sure they're about hips width distance or about the space your skull could fit between. And then put a softness behind your knees. Notice how you can then lift your hips up higher and feel the slope of your spine lengthen. Now, as you pull your low belly up and in to support that long spine, imagine everything in your abdomen could get so soft, it slides into your rib cage and supports your shoulders. Then use your arm strength to shift some of the weight into your legs and let your head hang even heavier. On your inhale, float your right leg up halfway, squaring off your hips at first. So right hip might spiral a bit down and a bit in. Keep your left heel heavy and lift your right leg higher and then higher and then higher. Squeeze it straighter. Now bend your knee and roll open your hip and move it around in a way that feels good. And if you're not quite sure what that means to you yet, start by making some circles with your knee to mobilize that deep ball and socket joint of your hip. You can also roll out your ankle or wiggle your toes. And then inhale, float your right leg up high, kick your two legs apart. Exhale to kiss your toes back down to your mat. Following inhale, left leg lifts up. Again, just halfway at first. So you establish the structure of it initially. That looks good, Rebecca. A little bit more chest towards your thigh. Yes, now lift your left leg up, 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 and bend your knee and roll it open. And for as much of this practice as you're able to, I recommend keeping your eyes closed. So you cultivate your ability to be internally focused and externally aware. Inhale, your left leg up high, and exhale, kiss your toes back down. Inhale, tilt your tail up. Exhale, bend your knees and look forward. Inhale, walk to the front of your mat and hang heavy in a forward fold. So separate your feet a comfortable distance and bend your knees. Let your belly drape over your thighs. Allow your spine to spill forward, heavy your head more than you think you are. And if you want to grab an opposite elbow or interlace your fingers at the base of your skull, go ahead. Help gravity help you. But also recognize that it will have something to do with letting it every single time. And relax your arms if you haven't yet, and place 2 fists in between your feet. It's about your inner hips with distance. On your inhale, half lift, hands on shins or thighs. Stop when your spine feels flat and breathe here. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen your armpits away from your hip bone. Looks nice, Hannah. Try to rock your weight a little bit more forward on the inhale. That's the difference. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up. Stand up, mountain pose. Biceps, frame your ears. And then close your eyes. Eliminate that visual perception of reality and feel for a root to rise. For standing on your feet in a way that keeps the back of your heart lifted. You can imagine strings pulling your inner arches up towards your ankles to light up your inner thigh. Draw down through your tail. Energetically pull up on the space right in front of your sitting bones. And notice how this creates a sense of buoyancy in the upper half, a clear pathway of energy through your spine. And if you're like, no, that made no sense to me, imagine it and plant the seed to one day have the experience of it. Shoulders soft, arms strong, fingers spread wide. Soften the stuff of your face by fluttering your lips. And then flutter your eyes open and look up. Inhale, get 10 feet tall before you stretch back. Open your heart, your throat, hips forward, arms back. Gorgeous, Rachel. Use those arms. And then dive forward, forward fold. Beautiful. Okay, do it again. Inhale all the way up and back. Press down through your heels, lift your chest, use your strong arms to reach. They're an extension of your spine. And when you're ready, dive forward, forward fold. And take that a few more times on your own. Inhales up through your mountain, the wave of your back bend. And exhales to dive forward. And if you want to take a couple breaths, again, into your deepest expression or what feels best for you today in your back bend, take a couple of breaths to get there, to be with it. Right? And the deepest expression doesn't always mean how far back you can go. It's not physical. As much as something that you feel for, right? Like, what if your deepest expression of it was how much space can I make along the front of my body using the back of my body? How much can I open up my chest or my throat, these energetic centers of self-expression we tend to keep closed off? All right, if you want it, you got time for one more back bend. Just go to the degree that it feels good to do it. And then dive forward, forward fold. Half lifts on your inhale, long spine. Hands down, step back, and pause in an upper push-up plank. Shoulders stack over wrists. Make sure your wrists are on straight and fingers are spread wide. Good, Danny. Hips a little bit lower, girl. Yes. Draw your pubic bone towards your belly button and lengthen your tail towards your heels so you keep your pelvis neutral. Pull up on the fronts of your thighs. That's a game changer to this pose. And firm up your belly. Now slowly inhale to shift the weight forward, shoulders past your wrists. Slower exhale to lower halfway and pause there. Keep your legs strong. Looks good, cat. On your inhale, slowly chest forward for your up dog, top the feet down, and then roll your shoulders back and down. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips high and heels low. Nice work. Exhale all your air out. Take it a smooth, slow inhale, suspend it at the top. And HA. Inhale, float your right leg up. And exhale, step it in between your hands. Toes line up with your fingers. Dial your left heel down and inhale to rise up for your warrior one. Arrive with your exhale and sit lower into your lunge until your right knee stacks over your right ankle. Push the outer edge of your left foot down, again like a string. We're pulling your inner arch towards your ankle. Pull up on the muscles of your back leg towards your butt like a stocking. And draw your left hip forward as you pull your right hip back towards the wall behind you. Tail down, belly in, arms strong. Sit your hips a little bit lower. Take a slow inhale to lift your chest and look back to reach back. A slower exhale to release your hands down. Keep exhaling as you step back. Keep exhaling to lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, suspended between feet and hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. And exhale to step it through. You can come onto your right toes to help land it lightly. Good, back heel down and rise up. And then sink lower. And then close your eyes. Feel both of your heels driving down through the mat and energetically pulling in towards one another, like your inner thighs were a pair of scissors you're trying to close off. Lengthen through your tail. Low belly in. Arms straighter and arms back, open across the front of your chest. Now heavy your front heel to sink your hips lower. Take a sweet inhale to lift your chest, look back and use your arms to reach back. And exhale, hands down. Try to use the same exhale to step back and lower halfway. Big inhale and up dog, puff the sides of your ribs forward, shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now move on your own. Warrior one on the right side and warrior one on the left side. And although we do meet back in down dog, after you take it once on the right and once on the left, and you know this, can you still move as if there were no destination to get to? Because the conscious breath that we cultivate here, that leads you through your practice, it has no destination to get to. Your breath is something that's always with you. Every single one of us breathes, just like how every single person is born with breath, or born with love, or born with peace. There are so many things that are innate within us that we forget about because we don't exercise them regularly. So you have this time carved out. Choose breath, choose love, and then keep choosing it until it becomes a way of being again. Now, if it's available to you, please exhale all your air out with an SH. Take a sweet inhale, suspend it at the top, and let it fly. Okay, ripple forward for your upper push-up plank, please. Shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders. You know how it goes. Toe heel your feet together, squeeze your heels, and roll over to your right side. Lift your left arm for side arm balance, stacking heels, hips, shoulders, and wrists, and working to warm up the sides of your body. So bump your hips up to the ceiling so much, it's like you're trying to get the sole of your right foot on the mat. Rotate your left bicep over your left ear. Float your left leg, up off of your right. Now, if you like to catch the knee or the toe, you're welcome to take a variation, but wherever you are with it, hold the pose. Switch the gaze to look up to the ceiling. Smooth inhale, push the floor away. Slow exhale back to upper push-up plank and pause there. And then roll over to your left side. Lift your right arm. Hips up, 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 up. Belly in. Take a variation if you'd like. Maybe look up to the ceiling. And just to be clear, there are moments in this class that are meant to be challenging because you cannot really practice patience or love or integrity if things don't get challenging. Take one more inhale, find your deepest expression. Exhale back to upper push-up, pause when you get there. And now replace your hands with your elbows for a forearm plank. Interlace your fingers. Elbows should be underneath your shoulders. There's a tendency for a lot of people to get them wider. You got it, Rachel. And now keep looking at your thumb as you walk your feet in towards your elbows as much as you can for your dolphin pose. Now, once you can't walk in anymore, drop your head heavy. You're pushing out of your shoulders so much that top of head doesn't touch the floor. Share the weight between your arms and your legs. Push fronts of thighs towards backs of thighs to open the backs of your legs and stay with it. I promise you'll like what's next. You have like 5 seconds. 4, hips higher, chest towards thighs. 3, 2, with a quiet quality, find child's pose. Knees down, arms forward, eyes closed. And can you go from 100% effort to 0% effort so swiftly, all of the numbers in between are erased? Because when it comes to commitment, 100% effort and 0% effort are the exact same thing. Choose to commit. Exhale your air out. Inhale, new awareness. And HA. Downward dog, please. And then inhale, float your right leg up. You can come onto your left toes and step your right foot in between your hands. Land it lightly. Dial the left foot heel down. And inhale, rise up, warrior 1, keeping the hips low. Exhale, peel open for your warrior 2. Right arm forward, left arm back, chin over your front shoulder. Take a big enough stance to accommodate your hips peeling open. And as you drive your heels down through the mat, energetically pull them in towards one another so you light up your inner thigh. I want you to actually feel for this cradle of support for your hips. And then knowing you have that support, maybe you sit lower and go deeper into your experience. Lengthen down through your tail. Stay lifted through the backs of your ears. And rotate your chin even more forward over your front shoulder. Shoulders are weightless. Arms are strong. Inhale, flip your right palm and reach forward. Exhale, stretch straight up. Inhale, then reach for the back wall and sustain it here. Keep your hips low. Reach forward with your right inner thigh. Firm up your belly. Look up to your right palm or inner elbow. Slow inhale, sit low and reach back, stretch. Lower exhale to cartwheel your hands down. It's a long one. Try to keep exhaling as you step back and lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, suspended between feet and hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Hips stay lifted, step it in between your hands, back heel down. Inhale, rise up for warrior one. And exhale, peel open for warrior two. Chin over your left shoulder. And again, close your eyes. And I know I say it a lot. I know we say it a lot at yoga to the people, but it's something that's worth being reminded of. Because so much of our reality is predicated on what we see. Like, a landmark is going to seem further away if you're carrying something heavy versus if you're not. Or a hill is going to seem steeper after an intense workout. So close your eyes and open up your vision. And if your arms start to feel tired or heavy, don't let them. Hug the muscles tight around your bones and teach them to hold themselves up for you. Inhale, flip your left palm up and reach forward. Exhale, stretch straight up. Inhale, to then reach for the back wall and sustain it here. Again, with your breath and your intention and whatever of value is showing up for you here. That looks good, Wendy. Get that left arm even straighter if you can. Yeah, spiral your left pinky finger more towards your face so your shoulder slides away from your ear. Nice. Inhale, bottom left rib to the sky. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Keep exhaling to step back, lower, flow. And let your breath guide you through warrior one, warrior two, and reverse warrior, right and left side. And if you want to move big, you move big. And if you want to move small, move small. My only ask is that you're moving to a breath that doesn't get stuck. Not in the throat, not in the wrist, not in the ankle. And this is when you leave a yoga practice feeling really good. It has everything to do with the quality of your breath during this hour. It's why we say if you need a break, that you take a break, because as long as you're committed to making this hour one cycle of breath after another, regardless of where your body is in space, you're doing the work. And living in a world where you can pay people to do almost any kind of work for you, right? Like walk your dog or raise your kids or do your laundry, breathing and your yoga practice do not fall under that. This is only work that you can do for you. It's good work. Okay, if it's available, exhale, empty, empty, empty. Take in a slow, sweet inhale. And HA. Inhale, tilt your tail up. Exhale, bend your knees and look forward. Inhale, walk or lead with your hips to hop forward into your half lift. And exhale for forward fold. Now bring your big toes to touch. And as you inhale, sit your hips back and down, stretch your arms up, palms pressed for your thunderbolt. Slide the weight back into your heels like your knees could stack over your ankles. Pull your belly in to feel your chest float up off your waist. Spiral your biceps in towards your face so you can soften your shoulders as you stretch your wrists away from them. Sit a little lower and reach a little taller. Drag your hands down to heart center. Elbows are in one straight line. Inhale, puff your chest up and twist to your right. Hook your left elbow over your right knee and look over your right shoulder. Draw your left knee back. Push your left heel down. Roll your left ribs under. Now you can fly away by teeing the arms apart, or maybe you bind by wrapping them around your thighs. Lengthen through your middle back. Roll open a little deeper, and then slowly draw it all back to center. Hips low, lean back, slowly twist left, right elbow, left thigh, and look over your left shoulder. This time it's right knee back and right heel down as you roll the barrel of your rib cage open. Fly away or bind if you want it, if your breath supports it. And the more you use your arm against your leg, the more leverage you have to twist open. But if you kind of gentle up on that, you got to use your core strength more. A little bit of foreshadowing there. Roll open deeper. Draw it back to center, hands at your heart. Now stay low as you stretch your arms up and keep reaching with your arms as you slowly bend your knees deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you slowly come into your boat pose. Sits bones down, shins parallel to the mat, and palms pressed at heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, twist to your right. Try to twist as if you're pushing arm into leg and leg into arm. Come back to center and twist to the left, and then try to go even deeper. Get back to center, twist to the right, try to touch what you're looking at. Back to center, twist to the left, and again, touch what you're looking at. Back to center, separate your hands. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, lower, lengthen, and hover. Inhale, slow, knees to chest, belly in. Exhale, lower, lengthen, and hover. Inhale, knees to chest, belly in. Exhale, lower, lengthen, hover, stay for 5. For 4, now scissor kick your legs for 5. For 4, biceps by your ears, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hug your knees into your chest, soften your belly into your thighs, and rock a little bit side to side. Maybe make some circles with your knees to release your lower back on the mat. And then you circle them in the opposite direction. So from here, we're going to come into tabletop. You can either rock up and down the length of your spine to get there, or you can roll over to one side, make your way up, and come on to all 4. So shoulders over wrists, and hips are over your knees. As you inhale, belly towards the floor and gaze up to the ceiling for your cow tilt. And as you exhale, pull your belly in, shove the floor away for your cat. Inhale, belly down, open your chest, stretch your throat. And exhale, round it out, belly up and in, and heavy head. And come back to a neutral spine, so you're not back bending or rounding. Extend your left leg back behind you, and your right arm forward for spinal balancing. Reach from your armpit through your pinky finger. Lengthen from your inner thigh through your big toe. Exaggerate your cow tilt. Lift your arm, leg, and gaze up, 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 up. Bend your left knee, right arm behind you, catch your foot, and kick away. Slide your left shin up the wall behind you. Roll your right shoulder back. Arch your chest, look up towards your toes. You have 3. Kick up for 2. Leg back, arm forward. Stay with it. Lengthen and lift. Hand down, knee down, all 4. And other side. Extend your right leg back. Extend your left arm forward. Push out of your right shoulder. Kick down with your left foot. Get taller and lift higher, 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 higher. And then bend your knee. Left arm behind you. Catch your foot and kick away. Good. Try not to let your hip shift back. Hip shift a little forward. Left chest rolls open. And look straight up towards your toes for 3. For 2. Leg back. Arm forward. Stay with it. Lengthen and lift. Hand down, knee down, all 4. Inhale for your cow. Exhale for your cat. Belly in, shoulder blades spread. Come back to a neutral spine, so you're not back bending or rounding. Curl your toes under and come into your upper push-up plank position. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Slow inhale, upward facing dog. Squeeze your shoulders back behind you, open your heart. And exhale, downward facing dog. And then please exhale all your air out, anything you no longer need. Inhale, everything good, get really full of it. And exhale. Okay, your body's super warmed up now. This should feel good. Inhale, tilt your tail up. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, lead with your hips, hop forward. Half lift, nice fill. Exhale, forward fold. Big toes touch. Inhale, stitch your hips back and down. Arms up, palms press for thunderbolt. And then stand straight up. Separate your hands. Identify your left arm and swing it under your right. Cross your elbows, wrists, and thumbs face your face. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, between your eyebrows and a little higher, and keep them there. Weight in the heels, lift your elbows up, 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 off your chest, and look back to go back. Beautiful, Linda. Yes, try to look backwards a little more. Yeah, mobilizing that sticky middle upper back. Keep the weight back into your heels. Use your glutes and the thighs underneath them to press your hips more forward. Take another inhale to reach back a little further. Slowly come back up. Fingers below your nose. Sit back and sit down into your thunderbolt with the hips. Now lift your left leg up over your right for your eagle pose. Squeeze high at your inner thigh and point your left toes towards the floor. As you squeeze your inner thighs, draw left hip up and back and right hip down and forward. That was really nice, Jenna. And then start to hinge forward with a flat back feeling until left elbow touches your left thigh. Unravel your arms so your palms face down by your sides. Shoulder blades draw back away from your ears. Keep the eyes focused as you lift your left leg up and extend it behind you for airplane. Good, left hip down a little bit there, a little bit more there, Marissa. That's it, now left leg higher, use your left butt. Nice, slowly bring your hands to heart center, looks good, Travis. Keeping the eyes focused, extend your arms out long in front of you. We won't be here for long. Get as tall as you possibly can. Now put a deep bend in your right knee and land in a high lunge. Biceps frame your ears. Good for you. Keep your hips low. Squeeze your left leg straighter. Squeeze your arms straighter. Okay, take an inhale, hips low, reach to the sides of your body. Warrior two on the exhale. Right arm forward, left arm back. Okay, take another inhale to sit low and broaden your collarbones. Now squeeze your right leg straight, two straight legs. Toe heel your back foot in a little bit. Inhale, reach your right arm forward, forward, forward. Exhale, right hand, right shin, left palm open for your triangle. There's a lot of variations of triangle. Sometimes you'll hear grab the big toe. Sometimes you'll hear hand on the floor. I like to put my hand on my shin so I can pull up on my shin skin and tuck my right butt under to lean my chest back. That looks nice, Rebecca. Try to lengthen through your bottom ribs a bit more. That's the difference. Good for you. Good. Inhale, stretch your arms apart. Pyramid pose. Two hands frame your front foot. Step your left foot in a little bit. Left toes point the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Lengthen your chest forward and then drop your belly over your front thigh. That might mean bending your front knee, which is totally fine, but keep your back leg straight and keep weight in your front heel so you can draw right hip up and back and left hip down and forward. And if your face is touching your right shin, you rotate a little bit to the right. So left cheekbone touches right shin bone. All right, take an inhale to lengthen your spine like a half lift feeling. And as you exhale, step your right foot back and left foot back for upper push-up plank. Maybe you can keep exhaling to lower halfway. And inhale for up dog. Good, Sarah W, really nice. And exhale for downward facing dog. Yes, Jamie. All right, heavy your head, no anticipation of what's to come. It's this moment. Exhale your air out. Sweet, deep inhale. And HA. Inhale, tilt your tail up. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk or float forward into your half lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together. Inhale, sit low. Arms up, palms pressed for your thunderbolt. And stand straight up. Separate your hands. Right arm under your left. Cross elbows, cross wrists. Thumbs to third eye, weight in the heels. Look back to go back. Push your heels down. Lift your elbows and the back of your heart up. And then press your hips forward so that you can go back further. Good, strong legs. Inhale, look back further. And then slowly come up. Use the front of your core. Fingers below your nose. And sit back and sit down. And lift your right leg up and over your left. Squeeze your inner thigh. Yeah, and then be with it. It helps if you find a steady point of focus with the eyes. But balancing is not about being absolute or rigid. It's a process. The opportunity to fall a little too far in any direction and constantly bringing it back to center. Slowly hinge forward, right elbow to your right thigh. Unravel the arm. Good, Jamie. And then lift your right leg up and extend it behind you for airplane. Right, something stable does whatever it needs to do to support whatever it's supporting. So the leg of a table or a chair needs to be rigid and stiff. What's stable for you is more like a stable person in your life who meets you where you're at. Hands to your heart, nice and slow. And extend your arms out long. Inhale, get as tall as you can. And with grace, land in a high lunge. Deeply bend your front knee and land on your back toes. Good for you. Take an inhale to deepen it. Sit low, stretch up with your arms. And exhale for warrior two. Peel it open, chin forward. Inhale to take up space. Exhale, squeeze your left leg straight. Inhale, lengthen forward, forward, forward. Exhale, left hand, left shin. Right palm open for your triangle. And again, an option to pull up on your shin skin, to tuck your left butt under hard, and lean your chest more back. That way you also get this delicious stretch on the outside of your right hip. It's a nice warm up for half pigeon there, which means yes, we will be getting to half pigeon. Inhale, stretch your arms apart, and pyramid pose. Two hands frame your left foot. Step the back foot in if you'd like. And hips square off, and chest drapes forward. And if you're pretty open in the backs of your legs and like to go even deeper into this pose, you can also come onto your left heel by picking your left toes up and pulling them towards your face. Every inhale creates this length in your spine, like a half lift sensation. And every exhale, use the strength of the front of your body to pull yourself in deeper. Beautiful, Kate. Nice. All right, take an inhale for a half lift feeling. And exhale to get both of your feet back behind you for an upper push-up plank. And an exhale to lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll those shoulders back. You got to teach them. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, hold it. Inhale your right leg up. Use your exhale to step your right foot outside your right hand. We'll set up for a side angle. Dial your left heel down and float your left arm up, getting into the inner hip here. Push right leg against right arm and right arm against right leg. Tuck your right butt under just like triangle. And then let's do a bind. So rotate from your left shoulder to drop your arm behind you. And you can thread your right arm underneath your thigh and grab for your top fingertips. If your chest spirals towards the floor, I recommend trying a half bind for today, where you bring right elbow onto right thigh and roll your chest open towards the ceiling. Yes, Marissa. Now use your left tricep to get that left arm straight. Good for you, girl. If you can, hips a little lower. If you can, inspire your heart towards the ceiling. Release into lizard pose. Two hands inside your right foot. Lift your back heel and sway your hips. Forward and back, forward and back. On a back hinge, drop your left knee down, point the toes. And you can lower down maybe to your left elbow. And then maybe you lower down to your right elbow. And then maybe you don't do that at all. Go to a place where you feel it, right? So it is about feeling it. But you can stay tethered to your exhale. Perhaps you put yourself in a position where you have to use your exhales in order to stay calm. So that when life puts you in a challenging position, you use your exhales to stay calm. If you're on your elbows, come up onto your hands, please, and straighten your arms. Curl your left toes under, squeeze the back leg straight. Send your right foot back to meet it. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Stretch from your toes to your eyeballs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it outside your hands. Back foot dials down. Right arm reaches up. Side angle. How good can you make this moment feel for you? It's a little lower. Hips forward, chest back. Bind. Rotate from your right shoulder. Good, Travis. And then maybe you thread your left arm underneath your thigh. Good. Now, Travis, if you can flip your bottom palm away from you. Yes. Yes, that's how you eventually get that top wrist with the bottom hand. And then lean your chest back, squeeze your shoulders behind you. Good. One more inhale, look up, roll open, and release into lizard. Two hands inside your left foot. Move your left foot to the left and sway your hips forward and back. Okay, drop your back knee down, point the toes, and lower down onto your elbows. Maybe. I have no idea what you're going through. No yoga teacher will ever have any idea what you're going through. If you ever hear a yoga teacher say something and you're like, oh my God, you get me? It's because we're teaching from our own experience. And vibrationally, every single one of us is connected. That's all to say that you are your own best teacher. Only you know if you can and should go deeper into your experience. All right, if you're on your elbows, come up onto your hands, please. Curl your right toes under, step your left foot back. Inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale to lower. And inhale to up dog. Can you open the front of your body more than you have all day so far? Use your strength. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Pedal at your feet, move your body around. Kind of like how we did in the beginning of class, and also kind of a whole lot different. Your body's different now, so what's changed and what's new? Okay. One thing is your spine is super warmed up now, so we'll go ahead and take a camel pose. Knees come down to the floor. Walk your hands back towards them and come to stand up on them. Knees 6 inches apart. Hands on your lower back so the tips of your fingers graze the top of your butt. Shoulders down, elbows in. Pull your belly up and into your palms, lift your chest, and look back to go back. And if you see the back wall, that's fine. If you see the floor behind you, that is fine too. Then maybe you grab for your heels with fingers on the inside and thumbs on the outside. But just because you can doesn't mean you have to. Go to a place where you can stay. Use the strength of the back of your core and the front of your core. That's it, Jamie. Keep that heart open. Take one more inhale, hips forward, look back, and hands to lower back, belly into palms, rise up, and hips to your heels, and palms face up on your side, and close your eyes, and do nothing else. And it's interesting, because when we get to these quiet parts where we're asked to do nothing, this is usually when the number drops in attendance. If you're just reaching to leave and you know you don't absolutely have to, see what happens if you stay. Because those moments when we rub up against resistance, this is when the practice happens. This is when something important is about to happen. Don't miss it. This is your life. Don't miss the lessons. Don't miss the moment. Exhale all your air out. Take it in deep, deep inhale. And HA. Gently flutter your eyes open. And slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. And as you draw your hips up and back, feel that lengthening of your spine. Start to counter all the deep back bending you've been doing. And as promised, inhale, float your right leg up. Bend at your knee and swing it through for your half pigeon. Knee draws wider than shoulder. Toes flex back towards your shin. Square out your hips and lengthen forward. And lengthen. Reach back through your left big toe and forward to the space between your shoulder blades. And stay. And get present. You know, we hear yoga teachers say this a lot. But it's because we're stuck in the constructs of time, right? We're obsessed with time. We run our whole day around what time it is. We manage ourselves with it. But when you're living in time, you're not actually being present because time is past and future. It's linear. It's forwards and backwards. In a moment when you're truly present, you're not going forwards and backwards. You're going deeper. It's vertical. That moment when you want to come out of this, go deeper instead. Exhale all your air out. Deep, sweet inhale. HA. With your eyes closed, walk your hands under your shoulders to lift your chest. And sit a little bit deeper into your hips. Curl your left toes under, step your right foot back for upper push-up. And then either breathe through a flow or push yourself back to down dog. But as soon as you take that exhale into downward dog, use your following inhale to float your left leg up, to bend your knee, and to swing it through for your half pigeon. And then, you know, one big tip slash tool for staying present in your yoga practice, especially when you're in your apartment when there's every distraction in the world, is to not have your phone by you. And listen, again, I have no idea what you're going through. If you need your phone by you while you do your practice, then I'd much rather you do your practice. But what I've noticed in the studios and in my own experience is that usually when we want to kind of just pass the time, or as soon as we like rub up against something, you distract yourself, right? We grab for our phone, we do anything other than what we're doing. So if you leave it away from you, if you clear out the distractions as much as possible, I can almost guarantee you, not by science or fact, but again, by my own experience, that you will leave this practice feeling so much lighter than when you started it. And if you just thought, oh man, that's a big commitment, like good, again, this is when important things show up inside of the resistance. Don't miss that either. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And exhale. Okay, with your eyes closed, lift your chest up. And then a little differently this time. This time, shift your weight over to your left and swing your right leg out from behind you. And we're gonna set up for a seated spinal twist. So left leg is on the bottom, right ankle outside your left knee. Bring your right hand behind you, stretch your left arm up. Reach up real tall and twist to your right. Hook your elbow over your knee and push your arm into your leg and your leg back into your arm. Pull your belly up and into your spine. Find a little bit of an arch in your chest and rotate your chin over your back shoulder. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Twist a little bit deeper and draw it back to center. Now, before we do the other side, I'm going to give you an option to do something that I think is fun. All right, you can either just switch the legs or place your hands on the floor to your left, keeping both of your feet on the floor the whole time. Lift your hips up, walk your hands behind you around to the other side, and end up with your other leg on top. And it works like 99% of the time. Bring your left arm behind you, right arm up, stretch up, and twist. Look over your left shoulder. Good. Push. Arm into leg, leg into arm. Lift your chest taller and twist and twist and twist. And then take a one breath counter twist. Come back to center. Glance over your right shoulder for just a breath. And then lie flat on your back, please. And if possible, practice this pose, if at all possible. Ideally, you stay for 2 minutes. And if you're like, I don't have 2 minutes, stay for 5. And feel for relaxing on a really deep level, because just like every other pose, it's not about what it looks like. Like, you could be a master at looking like you're relaxing. I know I am. But feeling for it can be really challenging. Give yourself permission to feel. As you guys know, we're donation-based. We don't have a sponsor. We don't have a rich uncle. We have a stunning community. I'll put a link in the chat box if you're able to contribute monetarily. Other ways you can contribute: spread the word, post about this class, and help us build this brilliant community. And if you're interested in learning more about what happens during this time on your mat, we have teacher training programs coming up. Wednesday, I'll be with Rose Erin, our lead trainer, doing the master class from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. here on Zoom. And after that, we'll have an open house. You can come for class and open house if you have questions, or just come to open house. I'll also be around for a little bit after we take our final breath together if you have any questions. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wherever you are with your breath, please exhale all your old efforts away. Inhale everything good. And exhale. Charles Bukowski said, what matters most is how well we walk through fire. You're welcome to stay in Savasana as long as you'd like. If you want to start to make your way out, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes and deepen your breath. And then you can roll yourself over to one side and slowly make your way up to seated. Wow, thank you so much for being the best part of my day. Have an amazing day. If you're in New York, open your windows. It's gorgeous out.